Everyone, my name is Sam. Today I read Anansi and the Talking Watermelon. Early one morning, Anansi the spider awoke to the sound of Possum hoeing his watermelon patch. Anansi peered down from the pea tree where he lived to watch a possum's slow progress. Anansi laughed as at the thought of a juicy meal of a watermelon, his favorite juicy red fruit. When a possum set his hoe aside at midday to take a nap, and Anansi snuck down from his tree for a snack. While a possum snored, Anansi shimmed down his fine silk web to reap past the watermelon in the garden. He picked up a small sharp chip away the watermelon's rind. He made a hole that he could just squeeze into. He gorged himself as the juices slid down his 8 spider legs. Anansi laid his head upon a watermelon seed to attempt to sleep. He tossed it and turned restlessly. This is so boring. What shall I do while I wait? He pondered his next plot. He heard a possum at the far end of the row. Oh, I know. I will trick a possum into thinking that this melon talks. Possum came scratching with his hoe, and as he neared Anansi's melon, he heard a sound, quiet as a mouse. "Who is that?" he asked. "It is I, the watermelon," Anansi now yelled. "How absurd! Watermelons can't talk." A possum said as he growled the melon to his ear. "A possum? You have never been a good listener. Watermelons have been talking since before you were born." Possum could not believe his eyes, his ears, and cried, "Akrula! I must show the King Bear the discovery I have made." Off he went, carrying the watermelon, with Anansi bouncing to and fro inside the watermelon. he met Raccoon rolling in the dust beside the road. "What's the hurrying, Possum?" Raccoon asked. "I'm bringing the king bear a talking watermelon," Possum answered, very proud of himself. "Now I have heard everything," Raccoon laughed. "You haven't heard me talk," Anansi replied. From inside the melon to Raccoon's smart remark. "Huh? Who said that?" asked Raccoon. "I did," said Anansi, really enjoying his trick. "You are silly, Raccoon, for not realizing more than animals have speech. Watermelons are more intelligent than you." "Do you believe me now?" asked a possum. "Yes, I do," Raccoon said. "This smart black watermelon is something the king will want to see." Along the path to the king bear's grand den, a possum and raccoon came upon gopher, rat, and squirrel. They each in turn laughed and pointed fingers until they heard the melon's strange little voice themselves. Before long, they all wanted to hear what the king would say about the oddity, so they went off. When they arrived, the king, a very grizzly bear, had just woken from his afternoon slumber and was a bit grumpy. "Yeah, what is it?" he growled as the animals bowed before him. A possum placed the watermelon on a tree stump before the king. "What am I to do with this?" the king asked, continuing before anyone had a chance to answer. "I do not need any watermelons. I have acres of my own." "This one talks," they chimed in uneasy. The king bear refused to believe he had subjects from a garden patch. He demanded that the melon pay respects to him if the animal spoke the truth. The watermelon just sat there, mum, for the first time all day. "What kind of joke is this?" the king grumbled. The melon remained silent. "You would be a fool to waste more time waiting for your teachers, Tricky," he snarled at the frightened animals. "You wouldn't be a fool not to wait," piped up Anansi from inside the melon. "Only a fool thinks watermelons can't talk." "Fool! Fool!" King Bear roared. "How dare you call the king as full names? And with that, King Bear picked up the melon in his paws and chucked it as hard and as far as he could. The melon flew through the air and landed with a crack and a thud, splitting wide open. Anansi was free. He skittered as fast as he could back to the peach tree where his morning started. What a great day, Nancy rejoiced. All of the fun has made me hungry again. He began nibbling at a large ripe peach above a possum's patch. A possum returned later that day with a sour look on his face. He picked up his hoe and started digging furiously. Melons, he cried. Next year I will grow something else in this patch. You watermelons are nothing but trouble. Perhaps you should grow more peaches. And Nancy, with a mouth full of fuzzy fruit. The king is sure to listen to a peach. The end. Goodbye.